Within 2 weeks during the month of April, 3 cases of suicide rocked the parish of St. Patrick. And again, in the past 2 weeks, there were reports of 2 cases of attempted suicide in the same parish. All young men. Setting aside denominational differences, the Alliance of Evangelical Churches is collaborating with churches in St. Patrick's to provide spiritual intervention. Beginning this Saturday, there will be what is deemed United Prayer for St. Patrick. Rose Hill will be their first stop. Diane Roberts, chairperson on the board of elders in Riverside St. Patrick's, says their hearts were touched when they heard of the suicide. Roberts explains this weekend's mission as a time for repentance and spiritual warfare, coming up against the spirit of death.
In collaboration with Youth with a Mission YWAM and all of our pastors and leaders in St. Patrick's, we are planning for this weekend the United Prayer for St. Patrick's. So this is going to be our first event, carded for this Saturday. It's going to start at 7 a.m. up until 9 a.m. in the morning. And the vision of this is really to, again, combine our forces, combine our strengths, combine our resources, and begin to go in one voice, seeking and calling on the name of God to have his kingdom that is declared in heaven for our parish to be manifested on earth among our various communities. So what we're really heading for is to see the lives and hearts of our people in St. Patrick change and turn to Jesus, because we know this is really our only hope.
Pastor Devon Rashi, president of the AEC, says those acts should not be viewed lightly, as they may derive from other underlying issues.
But when you see the threat of suicide that we have seen in the last couple of weeks, you cannot ignore that there may be some deep underlying spiritual issues that are impacting what we have been seeing. And therefore, when you have spiritual issues, sometimes they are manifested in the physical. And as such, we see the need to deal with this from a multifaceted type of approach, which, as I mentioned, would begin with the need to look at the spiritual dimension. Obviously, there will be need to look at the psychological dimension, and there may be need to look at other areas that is causing a level of hopelessness.
Pastor Rashi says the church have been providing support to people during the lockdown as a means of easing the level of hopelessness some may have been experiencing. Pastor Rashi is seeking volunteers to form a counseling committee, which he hopes to launch by August this year.
As part of the strategic plan of the Alliance, our intention have always been to establish a commission of Christian counselors. There are many counselors who have been trained nationally, professionally, and many of these persons are members of our churches. And this situation that we are confronted with reminds us of the need to pull together our counseling professionals who can come alongside the church leaders to render support to communities and members in need alike.
Bishop Dave King explains what will be happening on Saturday.
We have planned to go to the community of Rose Hill on Sunday, that Sunday coming. We have already spoken with the pastors in the area. We have taken the initiative to go to the community, to walk through the community, talk to a couple of persons, invite them to the playing field, where we would conclude with prayer and singing and thanksgiving to the Lord as a church. So I am here today to just talk about the initiative and to say to the people of St. Patrick, all is not lost, and to the community of Rose Hill, we stand in support to you at this time, and also in support of the effort of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
People are invited to join the Alliance of Evangelical Churches and other churches in St. Patrick for Saturday's mission. Christelina John, GBN News.